Hello and welcome to Redmen TV. It's Uncensored match build-up showtime. Liverpool taking on Burnley at Anfield, Sunday 4 o'clock. And Chris Pajak joins me along with...
I'm pretty certain I said Saturday on my fucking starting 11 prediction show. As soon as you said Sunday, then I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I said Saturday.
Well,
so
this is out. Check that video.
This is out first, right? So don't bother commenting that I said Saturday.
Oh yeah,
I've got it in before you.
That'll definitely
sound. Yeah, we happy with that?
Yeah,
sound good. Nice one, everyone.
Just what you want to do is just put the blocked keywords Saturday.
Just go back, just like in the edit, just go and dub.
Sunday.
We're playing on like, Sunday. A Redmen TV logo over your face. Sunday.
This is coming out first, so this is where the idea came from for that. Well done, everyone.
Go and check on the starting 11, see what magic they pulled off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or they just left it.
Fuck all. Just left it. Just left it because why? Because the algorithm. We leave them in deliberately every now and again just to drive comments up. Just drive the comments.
It'll drive me fucking spare more like. Why does everyone say the same comment as everybody before them? They're all fucking lemons, Paul.
Is a lemons?
Lemmings.
They're all lemons. Lemmings. I do this on Twitter. You know, someone puts a picture out or says something, you think, oh, something dead funny, and you go to type and you go, I'm just going to see if anyone else has had this little jet. The average amazing. I mean, I'm fucking hilarious. I'm the best person in the world.
By the time you've typed your tweet out and put it out, you're seventh down.
Other people have done it, yeah.
I have no such filter.
No, just go for it. Yeah, absolutely.
If you're expecting good jokes and you're following me, again, Venn diagram, my tweets, funniness, there's very little crossover. So just expect... you know,
sweet spot in the middle.
So expect crap.
In fact, your sweet spot, you hit that during the Arsenal game, didn't you, the other night, where you had those brief moments where you made some gags to do with the score and then they were instantly wiped out and you did all winning.
Arsenal's defence killed my momentum. There was retweets aplenty, and then they just left 3 more goals in, or 2 more goals in.
Yeah, pathetic. Anyway.
Numbers ruined.
Anyway, before we get into the chat about the game,
footy.
Chris
Burnley, Sunday.
Has got some...
Sunday.
I say, Chris has got some things that he wants to say about Burnley and a graphic and everything.
Oh, yeah, okay, why not? So we're going to go for the opposition focus, as we've done every single week since we started doing this.
Yeah.
They're 12th in the league. It's a bit of a strange one for Burnley, really, isn't it? They've won 9, drawn 4, lost, 14. Goals for 30, goals against 40. Goal difference -10 now. Only 31 points. They've won 1, drawn 2, lost 3 in the Premier League. Top scorer, Andre Gray, with 8 goals in the Premier League, and top assister, 4 invokes, 3 assists each. They're a Jekyll and Hyde side, though, aren't they? I think, first and foremost, if you look at their home form table, they're flying high. They get all their points, most of their points at home.
Almost exclusively all.
They've got 2 points away from home all season.
They drew at Old Trafford and they drew at Hull.
Yeah, it's mental. Their away form is lost, drawn, lost. Yeah. They've won none, drawn 2, lost 11 away. They failed to score in 6 games away from home, and they've only kept 1 clean sheet.
The immediate thing that comes to your head, isn't it, is like,
oh my God, we're fucked.
No, if you said you want to pick any team to play at home in the whole world, everyone would say Burnley because they can't win, and yeah, there's a nervousness of, oh bloody hell, Liverpool are going to be the team, aren't they? Because we're always that team. Yeah. They've never they've never done this in 10 years, or he hasn't scored a goal in 6 months. Oh, well, you can play against Liverpool, and it's just like it's a.
It's like when you play Championship Manager or Footy Manager, no one ever scores their 8th goal of the season against you. It's always the 10th or the 15th. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
And that's his first goal for the club.
Every time.
But we were sat here before the Leicester game and saying like, they'll have a caretaker manager in. Why aren't we confident? Why don't we, And it's because sadly, these things build up over years, don't they? And Liverpool coming up against these kind of records, like Burnley haven't been the trivia question, but they've not beat us at Anfield since like the 70s. They've got a terrible away form, or new manager, or substitute goalkeeper in. Burnley might have 2 of those things. We go, oh no, because it always seems to be us that falls foul of these things. And these are mutually exclusive events. The fact that we've had this happen to us in the past has precisely 0 bearing on these games, and yet it's they do become a thing. They're a thing for a reason. They're a thing that eats away at us at the back of our minds, because we can call upon these memories time and time again where these records are broken. Steve, and I said it before, Leicester, and we may as well keep saying it until eventually Liverpool do us a favour. We need to stop these things from being a fucking thing. And just, we should be able to beat Burnley, because Burnley are not very good away from home, which is a massive understatement as well.
Exactly. When you think of it logically, everything should be fine. But it's just, in this season of all seasons, I say this season, that's unfair, this half season, because before Christmas everything was fine, pretty much all together. So since Christmas and January, he's just knocked the stuff out of everyone, hasn't it? We've seen, the same performance against the rubbish teams, and they've all beaten us and stuff. Having said that, a lot of that was on the road for us. I know Swansea was the home one, which was really, really disappointing, but on the whole, our home record's pretty good, and theirs is terrible. Logically speaking, it should all be fine. Yeah. But it's just, we're just, like I mentioned before, we're just conditioned to be, at the moment, we're just in a mentality as fans, and I don't even think the players and the manager are actually, I think it's just the fan base where we're all just like, we really, really want to be positive. Just Liverpool, please let us be. Just don't mess this one. If you don't mess this one up, and we beat Arsenal, and then we beat Burnley at home, we'll all feel great. Because at the minute, the great against the good, crap against the crap, and we're all still in that mode. Yeah. Because the players haven't played their way out of us being in that mode.
Well, listen, this is the realisation, isn't it, Chris, that I don't know how we've managed to get to this point of the season where Burnley at home is our biggest game of the season. It's fucking ludicrous. But exactly what Steve says there is that we need to. We talked the running theme for the start of the season was, striking things off lists, ticking boxes, whatever. This is the big remaining one for this manager, for this team. It's that we need to get into the swing of beating teams that desperately don't want to be beaten by us.
Oh, 100%, mate, 100%. But every game now, if we continue to win, will be the biggest game of the season, because that's what happens when you're in a race for something. That's what happens when you're fighting for top four. But it's as soon as you get beaten, they then start to not matter. Yeah. Or, you fall too far behind, don't you? So, Burnley, you're right, we have to get a result against them just to shut our own fucking fans up more than anything else, so that we can, and I don't mean that in like a negative way. It'll just mean that everybody will shut up about it for a little bit, and that's a positive thing.
No,
exactly. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you're wrong, shut up and all that. Everyone will just be like, oh, thank fuck for that. Yeah. I can relax for a little bit. Let's just have a week until we go and start another big team.
Yeah, I'm ready for a new story. I'm ready for a new thing that we need to work out, you know what I mean, if nothing else. What's interesting about this game, Steve, we'll be talking a bit about the team a little bit later on, but I went back and watched the highlights of the away game, and it was interesting that we were very critical of Jordan Henderson around that time. We were like, what is he doing in this position?
Second game of the season.
Exactly. Doesn't look like a natural fit. He isn't owning that number 6 role in any way, shape or form. Now that's completely been dispelled. He is very much our best player in that position. But there was a point there we were like, Emre Can should be playing there. It's funny how half a season can make a real difference in that regard. And now Emre Can, looks certain to start this game, more than likely in the same position. He's still got, although he's been improved, I think, in the last couple of games. It's another example where he's got to go out there, and we talked about his contract issues on the Reds News Roundup this week. He needs to start proving his worth to the first team.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because he is going to play that role, you'd think. And he was good against Arsenal, but I think Liverpool helped him, or the manager helped him. Wijnaldum was clearly deeper and closer to him. It was almost more 4-2-3-1 than it was 4-3-3. Can you do that against Burnley at home when you're expecting to go and try and break them down and beat them? And are they going to offer you a serious threat? I don't know, because they're safe. I'm pretty confident in saying, 31 points, they're fine, you'd say. So they might not need to dog it as much. And if they do, then it's important that Can, the things that he hasn't done will be escalated, because he is slow with the ball. He doesn't move the ball quickly. And if you're playing a team who are happy to go and draw 0-0 or get what he can, then that will expose his weaknesses. If they decide to make him more of a game of it, then that will suit Emre more. So I agree. It's we've gone full circle, haven't we? We've gone from bemoaning his absence to now bemoaning the absence of the fellow we wanted him to replace in the first place. Yeah. But it's on him, you know. At the end of the day, it's on the player now to. He is getting a run of games now. This will be a third, fourth start in a row.
Yeah.
You know, he rightly wants to play every week. He should. Every player should want to play every week. But you have to earn your way into the team, and you have to earn your way to get into the manager's thoughts. Because if he was outstanding for 6 weeks, if Henderson was out, there's a logic is that he might keep his place, or he could keep his place. At the minute, the second Henderson's back, he's back in. Because Chan hasn't just grabbed the place and gone, you know what, mine. I'm having it, and I know you're the captain, but I'm playing.
Yeah.
He hasn't done that yet. So there's an opportunity for him to do that against the Burnley side, who he's better than. He's better than all their players. Just go and prove it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Let's have a trivia question then. Liverpool last lost to Burnley at home in 1974. But which team was top of the league at the time? That's a trivia question. And as a bonus, because I think it's quite interesting, name the teams that made up the top 7 in the old first division at the time. We'll come to that a little bit later.
That's the hardest trivia question.
It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. The top of the table is not so hard if you know football history. The top 7 is basically impossible, but it's more as a curio than anything else. And before we get stuck back into, we're going to be talking about who we think will be lined up, whether there'll be any formation changes for the Mighty Reds. Let's have a word from our sponsors.
Please head over to the Redmen TV and subscribe. It'll only cost you £2 a month, and the first month is free.
And I was saying about what Divock Origi needs to do more of if he wants to be a Liverpool centre forward is what Jamie Vardy did to us at Leicester. He's not a target man. He's not massive. He wouldn't say ping it up to his head all day long and he'll hold it up. But he just annoys the life out of everyone that he plays against when he's on it. He's kicking ankles, he's throwing his body weight in, he's trying to make shit happen. We want someone like that up front who's at the focal point of what we do, going, come on, I'm going to fucking boot him. Who's booting him for me? Oh, you are? Great, go ahead. You know, I think that's what we need to buy.
I think the lesson we've just took from that is Liverpool going by Jamie Vardy. Is that what we've just took from it? According to Paul, Liverpool by Vardy. Tom, that could be the title. Paul, Redmen TV exclusive.
Just buy a fucking prick to play up front. And I don't mean like a Balotelli prick. I mean the kind of player that we love, but everyone else fucking hates. And they all think he's an absolute knobhead because Liverpool have been too nice for 20 years. We buy nice guys, don't we? I love guys going up front. I remember Fernando Torres getting booted in the air by John Terry and sat on the floor and Terry leaned over him and he just reached up and patted him on the cheek. I went, go ahead, mate, try it again. Now we get physically bored of that after a few years.
He also made a joke about his mum as well, which was great.
There you go. There you go, indeed. Chris. Hi. You okay? Now we know you've done your starting 11 prediction. It's been mentioned heavily already. Without giving too much away, do you think there's a case to be made in terms of the defence for actually keeping Ragnar Klavan in there? Now, as we've said a couple of times on a few different strands this week, Jurgen Klopp has shown time and time again this season that he's got his preferred players and more or less his preferred 11. And kind of like what we said with the Jordan Henderson stuff earlier, when his best players are fit, it doesn't matter how well anyone else has performed, they come straight back in. As far as I'm concerned, I actually think Ragnar Klavan has done enough, particularly in the last game, that even if Dejan Lovren's ready to resume, I would like to see Klavan given that, or I wouldn't be asked to see Klavan given the chance.
Just to define my views from the starting 11 prediction show, the starting 11 is the show that I think Klopp was going to play. Now, personally, I think I'm much like you. I think Klavan deserves to start. I think he should have started against Tottenham. I think he would have started if it wasn't for the bug. Therefore, Leicester. He would have started if it wasn't for the bug. I think he's come back in against Arsenal. He's had a great game of football. He's looked solid pretty much each and every time he's taken the field for Liverpool. He looks like a good centre-back, understands the position, understands what the opposition forward is supposed to be doing, knows how to clear his lines, knows when to play football, looks quite cultured as well, which I wasn't expecting to see from him. So yeah, 100%. I think, I would like to see a little bit more of this meritocracy return to Liverpool. I think it's great having, and I love Klopp and everything that he stands for and the way that he gets us and everything, but sometimes you've got to give the people below a reason for why they've got to perform when they get into the side. And you can't just come in, have a fucking world-class performance and then be booted because someone's back, who quite frankly hasn't been as good as that performance against Arsenal all season.
How do you maintain them? That can't be great for squad morale.
Exactly.
And I think you're right. And I think there's plenty of instances like Emre Can and Divock Origi is an example, and Daniel Sturridge. They're all the guys who are guaranteed to be on the bench every single week. If our first choice 11's been fit. But when they've had their chances, Emre Can had a good little spell around the time when he scored against Palace and what have you.
Three on the bounce, didn't
he? And Divock Origi got 5, a run of 5 goals, didn't he? But I still don't think anyone really has gone, has made a really strong case. I think Klavan actually, as much as he's had a couple of dodgy performances, funnily enough, one of the prime examples being the Burnley game at Turf Moor, I think, like I say, I'd like to see Steve, and I don't know where you stand on your doppelganger. Is if a guy put, I think he put in sufficient a shift against Arsenal to say, go ahead, mate, have another couple of games. It's not going to hurt us.
Yeah, usually when you play a backup and he plays well, I'm quite happy for him to go out the team, because the more you play a backup, the more you realise that actually they're a backup. I don't think Lovren's that good where it's a clear drop. I mean, I don't know if it is. In fact, you know what? I'd argue that I think there's a logical argument to say our best defenders are Klavan and Matip. I think that you can make that case. Yeah, a lot of people would disagree. A lot of people would. I think it's 50-50.
It's not clear cut.
It's not. Nathaniel Clyne's your best right back and Trent who is your backup. That's clearly defined, and it's clearly there's a gulf, and rightly so. Trent's a kid, he's a young up and coming player, but Klavan's experienced, and is he that worse than Lovren? Is he that? I don't think he is.
Is Lovren so head and shoulders
exactly
better than Klavan?
For example, Sadio Mane is back up at the minute for the right winger, Adam Lallana, which is mad. If Mane's fit, he just plays. He just does. He's the player. Lovren's done nothing this season. I don't think to say, you know what, I'm the centre half, and if I'm coming back in. Henderson, like
I use Matip as the example because I think Joel Matip has shown. I mean, even though he's not been great prior to the Arsenal game, I think since coming back from injury, you can tell he's just really, really good at football. And him for me, I think he's the only one. I think he was consistently shown. You're like, also, he's a player in the backline.
There's a mad stat going around. How often our centre half pairings change. It's just we mentioned it on last week. 20 odd partnerships since Klopp turned up, and he's been here less than 2 seasons. It's crazy. If you found something that you think might work, there's no need to change it. Is Klavan that much worse than Lovren that it's worth that disruption? I'd argue not. Having said that, I think if Lovren's fit, I think Klopp, the manager, just picks him. I think he just picks him straight. I think the manager wants him in the team. I think he just picks him straight away. I think I'd go Klavan again. Just A, for a bit of continuity, and B, as I say, I don't think the drop-off's that much.
So with regards to, we had a chat on the podcast this week, which if you're not listening to it, you can get it via a number of apps, Acast being one.
So Acast is where it's actually hosted and stuff, so you can get it on there. It's a free app. Go and download that. You can follow us on there. You can get it on Stitcher, which Steve told me is the big one for Android. It's on iTunes now as well. You just need to search the Redmen TV. It'll come up on all of them. And if you can't get us on them and you've got a different podcast app, do just let us know in the comments section. I'll give you the RSS feed, and you can literally just import that into your app from the RSS feed. In fact, I'll put it in the description instead of you all having to get in touch. Because that's the smart way to do it.
Take the work away. But we did a lot.
Tom, can you write that down, mate?
A lot of very interesting discussion around a bit of the build up to this game, a little bit different from what we normally do. We talk about the potential to change things around, and I felt that I wouldn't be shocked to see us try something. Maybe not completely different, but different. I wouldn't be shocked to see a Divock Origi maybe get a game in this one. Now, I went and did my Pro Evo predictor, and here's the mentality. I think I wonder whether this seeps into what maybe the manager and the players. I was gonna change my formation, but I realised I've kind of gotten used to playing in that formation that we've done, and I thought, well, hang on, again, when I can win, I know what I can do in this, so I opted not to change. And whether that worked for me or not, you can watch the Pro Evo Predictor to find out. But I did give me a little insight into it that I wondered whether, as much as I think from the outside looking in, let's try something, let's mix it up, let's shake it up, because we know we do struggle in this formation with these players to do low block sides. What do you reckon? Would you? I know, taking the starting 11 prediction aside, for the Chris Pajak prediction. What would you make a radical change in terms of our approach for this game?
Probably not a radical change now. I'd maybe consider putting. Actually, it sounds strange to say, but I'd maybe consider looking at the team that I think we faced against Arsenal and we put out. And I agree, Wijnaldum was probably slightly deeper and stuff, and maybe having Lallana more up into that 10 role and looking at it slightly more like a 4-2-3-1, because I do feel that, you know, we're going to have a lot of the ball and stuff. Adam Lallana's a class act. He's used to people closing him down quickly, and his first touch can find him that little bit of space. If he was just 10 yards further up the pitch, Liverpool might have some little better options and stuff. And I kind of expect us to pick Nathaniel Klein back up and go, you're going again today. Right? You're on one of those days where you're just going to have to bomb forwards all game and stuff. And I think that might be a slight tweak, but nothing major, if I'm honest.
I think the big issue we've got staying these, I think we come up on the Resnies Roundup, was we're referencing every single show we've done this week, by the way.
Whole back catalogue.
Which you can see on the redmentv.com.
Absolutely. The issue I think we have against these teams is that they sit so deep and it encourages us to go forward. And the logic is get more men forward. Whereas, you know, maybe is the case for less being a bit more. Sometimes we saw against Arsenal that the fullbacks didn't press anywhere near or didn't push anywhere near as high up the pitch. It gives you that foundation, because our issue, look at the Burnley game last time. The first goal was a bit of a sucker punch, but the second one is it's mistakes, but it's on the counter. We're very poor at leaving the back door open when we're desperately trying to get a goal.
I'd like us to try and attack more through the middle, even if they have parked the bus. Trust yourself to be able to try and get through it. And you know, if you lose the ball, that isn't that bad for us. Yeah, we win it back. But that's what we're really good at. Going back to your conversation, if Origi was in better form, I think there'd be a massive chance that he plays ahead of Firmino. I know Firmino's just had a worldy game against Arsenal, but you know, he's good. It's okay. You're saying he's a great presser and he works out, because he does. But there's not going to be anyone ready to press or work hard against him. Yeah. But I envisage that these Burnley are going to be quite deep and compact. So I think that if Origi was in good form, I think there'd be a logical thing would be you could either pick him just ahead of Firmino, or you could even put Coutinho in midfield and play Firmino left. If you really want a Firmino in the team, unfortunately, just Origi, even when he was on that run of 5 goals in 5 games and stuff, he never looked right to me. It didn't appear like it was working. So I don't think the manager will do it, and I wouldn't. I think Firmino at the minute, I don't think he's a perfect option up front, especially in this type of game. But I think at the minute, for what we've got, he's the best option that we've got available to us at the time, which is a shame, because I imagine this is the game in Klopp's head that Origi's perfect for. Or a better example, even I'm not even acknowledging Daniel Sturridge because he's injured again. But this is the game that you'd want that type of player in. Right, lads, we don't need you to work and press and run 20 miles and 20 Ks and Harry, we need you to score. But it's not gonna. It can't happen, because I say Sturridge is always he's been injured. He's injured. He's got a hip injury now, and Origi's just in such poor form that the manager probably doesn't trust him, and that's a shame.
Well, that's just, again, it's what it boils down to, because at times it's the paucity of the options that we've got available to us in this one, and that's in this particular instance, it's injury and fitness. Sturridge and obviously Danny Ings as well. But there isn't. You don't look at anyone, because nobody will be like, get your most skillful players, and well, we have that 11 that we play when we've got with Firmino up front, etc. That's what that team is. I'm not looking. Origi is pretty much the only one, unless he's going to throw in a mad surprise. But it's even less likely than the Origi thing, really, isn't it?
Yeah, look, we discussed last week. Me and John discussed like the 3-4-3 and Chelsea's iteration of it, and we put it out on YouTube, didn't we? And whether Liverpool have the players, that could be an option for us. We brought it out against Leicester. We got into the game a little bit more. Ultimately, we didn't get the result we wanted, of course, but we were shite, in fairness. I think it's funny, because you go, well, hang on, there's less defenders there, and what we're saying is you kind of sometimes need more defenders back. But it kind of, when you're leaving 2 men back or you're leaving 3 men back, then, the 3 at the back can actually suit us. And maybe it could be an option for us to go against Burnley. And, I think we've gone to La Manga, and I think we've worked on something that Liverpool fans haven't seen. It's just about when Klopp's going to release that, and if he did, in fact.
You just wonder whether it's, as you say, a complete revamp of how we line up and the system, or whether it's a solid tweak to the thing that we do. And again, logic would follow from what we've seen. It's more likely to be a slight alteration, worked on loads, than it is to be a complete revamp.
Arsenal,
of
I
the
think,
approach.
I think the style against Arsenal was a bit more. Not only was the shape different, I thought the style was. I thought we went long, way more than we have done. We've been a lot of sideways, intricate and stuff. Against Arsenal, a lot of the time they hit long balls and either trust the Firmino to win them, or trust that they might win the second ball. And that is, you could do that against Burnley, because if they're deep, you can just say to Firmino, you might not win every header against the centre-half, Keane, I imagine.
He's actually statistically very good at winning headers.
And even if you don't, you might be able to win second balls and create a bit of mad. Because the more madness that's on that pitch, I think, around the Burnley box, the more it suits us. They want to be disciplined and structured in what they do. That could be an option where they just say to, especially Chan, just you might go a bit more direct, try and hit Mane on the wing, try and hit Firmino, and just can't almost like see what sticks. And the worst case that you'd hope is that it comes straight back again.
Yeah.
So I think they've, in the last couple of weeks, I think you can see on La Manga, it's something I think they've worked on now.
Yeah, I want to get back to this, Will, where of being excited again about these games. And the problem we've got, and here's where it could work in our favour, because I saw a tweet about potentially might be a coach treating, which I think would be a fucking brilliant idea, because we're in the running now. I think we should make as big a spectacle of these as possible. But these are the games now, and where we are notoriously horrendous at Anfield in terms of the atmosphere, in terms of people being pumped up for these games. I really seriously hope that because of the little bit of edge and the little bit of fear to this game, that, because here's the thing, you have these games where you score, and instead of going like, fucking mental, going like a mental, like it's like, well, we can't go too much because it's an expected thing. Whereas I actually suspect that if we get a couple of goals in this game, we'll see celebrations kind of like we've seen in some of the bigger games. It wouldn't surprise me, and that's what I'm genuinely hoping for in this, because this is a major. It's a thundercloud hanging overhead. It's the sort of Damocles. It's the monkey on the back. Whatever you want to. It's the chip on. Whatever. Choose your analogies. Pick them. Whichever you fancy. It would be great for us to do this, because I think this is what's holding us back as a fan base for the rest of the season. I really want to go into the rest of this campaign with a massive sense of optimism and get back to this feeling that we can fucking beat anyone. But so much of it hinges on just giving us the belief back by going on and doing this game. Have you lining something up there?
No.
What are you doing?
I was just checking my stats before.
Oh, cool. Why, were they right?
It's fine. Just carry on, mate.
Okay, I was just interested. Thought you had an absolute dynamite thing. You were very... got this out. I thought, I was going to wrap up. I thought, Chris has got something he's going to fucking drop in there. I'm so disappointed. Steve, what do you think the score prediction? What's yours?
I got this right last week, first time in a while.
Did you?
Yeah, I got
no one ever remembers.
I mean, that's why I'm telling you. 2-0 to Liverpool.
Okay. Chris?
2-0 to Liverpool, because Steve got it right last week.
I'd like I think a 3-0 or maybe a 3-1.
No, I'd like that more than my one. But you asked me to...
Okay, that's what I predict will happen. Let's go 3-0, because fuck it, why not? So for the trivia, I asked, given that Liverpool last lost to Burnley at home in 1974, which team was top of the league at the end of that match?
70s.
Well,
Nottingham Forest, maybe?
It was Brennan who scored, wasn't it? And we lost 1-0. So's Ipswich.
Is that what you were looking up? So, top 7?
At the time...
Go on, let's stay, have a go.
That pays that you read the agenda before we come down here. If I would have... To be honest, I wouldn't Google it because I don't care.
So I'll give you one. Liverpool, at the end of that game, Liverpool was second in the league, and of that top 7, there are 2 clubs who are currently within the top 7 of the Premier League right now. In addition,
Man
to
United.
Liverpool.
Nope.
Man United
Arsenal.
were not even in the first division. At
Arsenal. Oh yeah, to do a craft then, weren't they? Arsenal.
Nope.
Tottenham.
Nope.
Oh Jesus Christ. Chelsea.
Nope.
You're playing light blue.
Oh, City were that. I thought City were rubbish.
Man
then.
City
They
were
were
third at the time.
Diev.
They were 4th.
No, they were 5th, actually.
Nope, they were 4th.
They were 5th.
They were 4th. I've got it.
Are you on Stato?
No, I'm on LFC history.
Ah.
There's a discrepancy there.
Stato by after that game or before the game?
After the game.
Yeah,
Lads.
it's not like that, but go on. We'll carry on.
Give me a clue then.
5th. I'll just tell you them, because
Yeah.
let's be arsed.
Stoke.
No. Oh, Stoke 7th. Yeah.
Who else was good around there?
Newcastle.
No.
I'm going to have one more guess. Wolves.
No. Sheffield United in 5th. Carlisle United in 6th.
Carlisle.
After 9 games. What will have happened is Newcastle were on 8 games after Liverpool finished that game. They will have played their game later on in the day, which is why they will have been up the table. Whereas,
It's all right, but good. Yeah. It says it's wrong.
that's what you actually need.
What is it?
It's a seasonal affective disorder therapy light.
Oh, right. And yeah, I'm the one who's not got it on his phone. What? You are the one who's got it on your phone, so maybe you've been looking for it.
I thought I'll keep a note on that for Chris. But yeah, anyway, there you go. If you got that right, you're clearly some sort of weirdo.
Great YouTube, that, lads. Great YouTube, that, lads.
That's top YouTubing. The Carlisle
New buttons in the fucking post, I'm telling you. with content like that.
The Carlisle United one was the mad one for me. I couldn't have told you they were ever in the top.
Who won the
top
league that
flight.
season?
I don't know who did.
Oh, you'll have to check stato.com. Derby, who went in the top 7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, interesting.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Who won the league the year before?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Leeds.
Wow.
Yeah, this is just now because I spent ages on stato, like.
Amazing. Thanks for watching this week. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you never want us to do questions like that again, also give us a thumbs up. Leave your score predictions in the comments below. And if you want more phenomenal Redmen TV content, I don't have to say that, it's just true. You can go to redmentv.com, click the button on the screen, £2 a month, free for the first month. The Reds News roundup this week with me, Steve Chris and Christian Walsh from Liverpool Echo was an absolute belter. Go and watch it. It's great.